All right, so today we are getting to work on the RX-7. Today we're gonna do some body work. I plan on just marking right now with a Sharpie all the little door dings and little dents that you see on the car. Anything small. The big stuff I'm just gonna leave alone because that's what I already know of. There's only 2 big dents on the car. Aside from those, everything's pretty small, so that's why I'm gonna start marking everything up just so that I can once I go into body work, I know exactly where every ding is and not have to worry about missing any in the future. So as of right now, she is dirty. Let me see, let me get this thing to flip. She is dirty, but it's not too bad. I can still see some of the dents. You can see some right there at the tip of my Sharpie marker right there. There is another one right about there. Just a little marks here and there. And I'm gonna try to look at it at every direction, every angle possible, so that I can see as many as possible. I do know I have a little bit of rust here. I could actually tell when I was looking at the car. I noticed there was a little bit of rust here, but it's nothing too bad. From the feel of it, I mean, I live in California. We're not in a very rust heavy area, so I don't really have to worry about that. When I looked at the car, it wasn't too bad. That was probably like the only rust I saw, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll just get the strips off and then do whatever I got to do under there, grind out the rust, and then paint it over. I noticed the car did have like a paint over it. It does have like a paint. You can tell there. It looks more orange compared to the original paint. You can see it there. The camera doesn't pick it up quite right, but it is more orange on top than it is under. So that is another reason why I wanted to paint it. But let me get to that and I'll get back to you guys. Also, I just wanted to show you guys, this is my other project, or it was my other project. This one got repainted. She's just dirty as well. I don't really have any old pictures of this one, but this is a 1995 Honda Accord. It's an automatic, it's my daily. I have it on Godspeed suspension. They're 16-way adjustable. I didn't want anything too crazy. I just wanted something that was going to give me a good feel on the road. Lower it, give her a nicer look. So it did drop down a good bit. The gap used to be about up here, so it did drop down quite a bit. I do have a aftermarket spoiler. I just ordered a cheap one off of Amazon. It's just I just wanted something a little lower, something a little different. I'm happy with it. Like I said, it was cheap. Installing it wasn't the easiest, but I got it on. I got to repaint the bottom skirts as well. I want to get a rear skirt. I'm not exactly sure what I'll put there, what I'll do there. Can't really see, but I want to do something there. But yeah, this was my first paint job on any car, and I think it's pretty good for a first time. Like I said, the car's dirty, so it's hiding a lot of the little imperfections. I did mess up on a few things. It's not perfect, but I think for a first time, it looks all right. Let's get to work on this now. All right, so from what I see, let's kind of start up here, this top section, so that I don't miss out on any like spots, dings. As of now, I see this one here. You can see it there. So I'm gonna just do a small circle. I don't want to make it bigger than the dent. I just want it to be noticeable. Kind of want to get ahead and go down, but I want to make sure I cover everything. So I gotta take it slow, do a section at a time. I see another about right here to be exact. You always want to make sure it actually is a dent, because you don't want to be adding filler to spots where you actually don't need to add filler. I feel like that might be a dent there, but I feel like it might not be. I think it actually is. I do see somewhat of a mark there. It does look like a dimple from, yeah, so I'm just gonna mark that off right there. Just a small circle. Just kind of give me an idea. This is gonna take a little while, so if anything, I'll put down the camera for now, and I'll just kind of get to this, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, so as you can tell, I kind of moved the car, but I kind of wanted to move it over here because I was getting a little too much sunlight over there. I couldn't see. I was getting blinded, basically. I got to see all the other dents. I also marked off any chips, rock chips, or anything else of that sort. Just like right here. I actually took this off of the door. It was actually a small cushion. The car came with this. Oh, oops. The car came with it when I got it. So I just removed it now because I could see, even though this was there, it did still take some damage there. So, I mean, this is, I don't want this, makes the car look ugly, but got that off just so I can see all the dents. Over here wasn't as bad as the other side. I do notice more warps here though, larger warps along the top of the door here. And I'm guessing it's from getting closed all the time and stuff. So as for that, I'm gonna have to block sand that, and then kind of figure out where all the dips are using some spray paint and a block sander. The front end isn't too bad. The usual rock chips. Some small dents. You can see some warpage from like closing the hood and such, but not too bad for such an old car. It is not bad at all. Today I think I might get started on some body work, some of these small dings. I'm probably gonna get to that today, and if not today, then I'm at least gonna prep it. I'm gonna sand it down, get rid of the old paint there, put down a layer of Bondo, and just sand it those. Just the small ones, like I said, but not the crazy big ones like that one. Those are some big ones right there. Can't see it, but they're kind of hard to see, but yeah, kind of get the idea there. And the other big one is right here. That's about it. I mean, aside from those two big ones, it's just a lot of these small ones. So I guess I'll record some of that, but I gotta find a good place for my camera, so I'll get to that right now. All right, well, since I don't really have like a tripod or anything to hold my phone or my camera, I'm just gonna have to do this single-handedly. So I already started here a little bit, so it wouldn't be drifting around too much. But at first it looked like Bondo to me, but then I looked closer and I realized it was just turning like a pinkish because some of the actual red paint was smearing onto the primer there and was making it look pink. So, because I mean, then right under it, it looks white again. So, wait, am I down to metal already? I don't think so. It doesn't look shiny. Actually, it does. Yeah, it's metal. So, now that we're down to metal and I've scratched it up pretty good, so Bondo's gonna be able to bite better. Let me just get it completely clean. Alright, I think that should be good enough. I'll wipe it down right now, and then I'll start laying down some Bondo. Alright, so I decided to sand it open a little bit more, just so that I could actually, in case it's actually a little bit bigger than what I envisioned the dent to be, I'm actually covering it. And so now I'm gonna wipe it off. And I also noticed I actually wasn't down to the metal, so now I'm down to the metal. So now that I have it wiped down get any sort of dust and particulate off. And I'll start mixing up my Bondo. So I have a little bit of Bondo left over from the last job on the Accord, so I'm gonna use that. I don't have a proper mixing tray right now, but I have to go get one. For now, I'm just gonna use some cardboard. This is a little big. The spreader is a little big for that little spot there, but I think I can make do with it. But if I can't, then I have a slightly smaller one here. Yeah, it's kind of old. But yeah, I'll start mixing some up. Since I don't have a tripod, I'm gonna have to stop recording to mix it up, but I'll mix it up and then I'll apply it. So I mixed it up and I already spread it on because I accidentally put a little too much activator into it. So it dried up on me pretty fast. It's been a little while since I've worked with Bondo. So I put it on. It's a little chunky there. I might have to go over it with another layer just to smoothen it out, but right now I might just give it a quick little sand, see how it comes out, and then if there's too many pinholes, I'll go over it again one more time and cover that up real good. We'll try to get that nice curve that you see here. We're gonna have to try to imitate that. We'll get that knocked out right now. So I'm just gonna let this harden and then we're gonna start sanding. So I started sanding a little bit, and it's starting to kind of get a shape. Right here, I can still feel a little bit of a ridge. Right here, a little bit. You can still tell there's a little bit of a lump here if you were to touch it. But I'm still sanding at it. You always want to make sure you're going at a crosshatch direction. You want to go both directions so that you basically cover the whole thing, and it leaves you with a nice even area. But of course we're still going to test this later with the spray can method. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but guys that do body work will know about this. But what you normally do is you get like a black spray paint, and once you feel like it's perfect, you go over with spray paint, you spray it over, let it dry, and then you go over it with a very light, very light sanding. You see where the black paint is removed, right? If all the black paint gets removed evenly, then you know that it's all even and there's no dips, there's no bumps, there's nothing, right? So you know it's a nice, perfect, even surface. If there are any dips, what's gonna happen is when you're going over with the block sander, you're gonna notice there's spots where paint isn't getting sanded off, and that's how you know you have a low point. So once you find those low spots, then you go over it, you fill it in with a little bit of Bondo, and you just keep sanding, and then you just keep doing that over and over and over until you get your final result. So that's what I'm gonna have to do here, since there were multiple dents. So I'm gonna have to do that. So far it's coming out all right. Let me get to this before it gets dark, because it's getting dark. So let me get to this and then I'll show you guys the end result. Now that I've sanded at it for a little while, it's actually feeling pretty good on this side, and on this side it feels pretty good, almost like if it's not even there. Honestly, I hate the feeling of touching it. It feels like chalkboard. I hate it, but I have to do it. Right here there's a little bit of a lump here and here, but I mean this little spot is kind of hard to get to. I actually do feel a little bit of a dip here, so I still have to work on that, but so far it doesn't feel bad at all. It filled in pretty well the first time, actually. It feels pretty good so far. This little ridge here actually feels pretty on point with the rest of it. So I guess I'll just keep going like that. Once I show you guys one, of course, I'll skip through the rest of it, because I mean, this can be really repetitive and very boring. So I'll eventually just kind of skip through all that and just show you guys the end result, or during, you know. So like I said, I'm also doing chips, so things like that, small chips, all of that I learned on my Accord, that stuff like that matters a lot. I'm just gonna make sure this car is as perfect as I can get it. If I can get it like completely 100% filled in and looking perfect, then awesome. That would be awesome. One step at a time. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I got a lot of work ahead of me. Another thing, I actually want to get a wing, a Turbo 2 wing. I know someone, he has an extra Turbo 2 wing, and so once I get all the dent stuff figured out, I'll talk to him and I'll see if I can get that wing in case it needs any prep work, so that I can get it ready for paint, and so that I can also mock up the holes here, because I don't know exactly where those holes are gonna sit. I'm not sure, but I really want that wing. It looked really cool. I'm a really big fan of the wing. 4 lugs. Actually, that is something I do want to change as well. I want to convert this thing to a 5 lug, but I can't, as of right now, I can't find a donor car. So, see you guys in the morning and we'll get that done. Alright, so I am back and it is the next day. It's a little later in the day, as you can see behind me. But I did start right here. I just put down a quick layer here. I laid it down kind of smooth. It's a thin layer, just in case there was still a little bit of a dip in there. Now we just gotta sand it out. The other ones felt actually pretty good. After this one, then I'm gonna do that whole spray paint method and test it out. Like I said, this is really boring stuff, so I kind of don't want to record a lot of this, because I know it's a lot of people already know how to do this. There's tons of videos on how to do this. Once I do this one and I show you guys how I do this one, I'm just gonna kind of cut through everything and just kind of do everything. I might do a time lapse. I'll probably just find a spot for my phone and then I'll just do like a time lapse, and then just kind of show you the process. Even if it's like cut between days, I'll still kind of put it all together, and you'll kind of see the progress as I go around. Alright, so the Bondo finally dried up and I sanded at it for a little bit. It's starting to feel a lot better. The actual curve here, the bend here, is feeling a lot nicer. I don't want to go too much with that one. I'm just gonna wait now, because I got the bulk off. Now that I just need the fine work, I'm just gonna use a finer grit now. But if anything, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave that for later. I'm gonna go over these other ones and just get them all covered up and pretty close to done, and then after I'll go over with the fine sandpaper over everything, and then I think I'll just do it that way, just so I can get more of this covered up instead of spending a ton of time on one little one and a ton of time on one little one to make it perfect, when a lot of these are really close together. And if I try to make this one perfect and then work on this one, if this one somehow ends up really close to this one, I could accidentally, you know, leave us a low point in this one by sanding too much in that area on accident, or, you know, anything. So I'm just gonna wait and make that like the stage 2 part of this Bondo job, and then it should be basically ready for paint. So I'm just gonna get to it. This is where I wrap up the video. I didn't really record much after this, because I mean, it's boring body work. It's very repetitive, so I decided I'm just gonna take time lapses of it. So there will be another video coming soon, as it'll be a update on where I am with the body work. Of course, this was all recorded a few days before, so I am a little ahead on the body work, but there will be an update video coming up soon, so expect that coming. All right, thank you guys for watching, and see you guys in the next one.